Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. I'm Tundu Abiola. George Enema brings over 15 years work experience at mid-management level in major multinational companies like IBM and Unilever. George brings these years of experience to his role as a Gallup certified strengths coach. He is a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing UK and holds a bachelor's degree in chemistry. He has attended different leadership trainings across the globe. George is a skilled motivational keynote speaker and speaks at numerous events on servant leadership, strengths-based training and teams, maximizing human potential, and employee engagement. He specializes in designing and teaching courses on transformational leadership, personal and organization effectiveness, high-performance team building through strengths-based development, leadership ethics, and business strategy. George is here to talk to us about generating and maximizing strengths professionally. Welcome to the show, George. Good morning.
Thanks, Tudun. Good morning.
Let's start by, can you explain what exactly is strengths training?
Strengths-based development is a concept around individuals and teams focusing on their innate talents and strengths. By that I mean, if as an individual you unlock your innate talents already imbued in you by the great creator, you should be able to function better. So you do better when you focus on your areas of strength. I'll give you an example. According to Albert Einstein, if you ask a fish to climb a tree, it will forever remain thinking it's stupid, but allow it in its habitat and that fish will be excellent. And so as individuals, we have in us innate talents, so nobody is useless. Everybody has something in them they can offer to society to create value. And that's why I started this revolution around strengths-based development.
What provable ways can you show that this sort of training actually develops capacity of professionals?
Currently it's not something so, how do I call it now? It's not something that Nigerians understand so well. And so that's why I'm using every opportunity to talk about it. I, for one, discovered my own strengths in 2017 through a training, and that gave me the opportunity to become the best I can be. And right now there's a team there called Winning Others Over, which even my former bosses, my wife, everybody on seeing that report realized that truly, George, this is about you. And because of that, I've been able to use that to connect with people better, understand where I can function better as a person and even in my team. And so I cannot practically say in Nigeria, this is where it has come to play, even though I've done a few trainings with individuals and a few businesses. But across the globe, you would understand that focusing on one's area of strength, even in collaboration, if you look at the wild beast and the zebra, in the desert or in the forest or in the wild habitat, you see them working together because they collaborate on one sees farther, one hears fast, and so they are able to collaborate to be able to function better. And so the concept is, as a nation, we can evolve a more productive society if we all collaborate using our individual, in the understanding of our individual strengths and talents that we have imbued in us.
Are there particular professions or skills that sort of lend themselves more to the kind of training that you offer?
No. Even an engineer could function better understanding what he can do and what he cannot do. You're an engineer and Tudun is a presenter. You should be able to understand that Tudun can communicate better your concept. You can design better, and both of you can collaborate. You design, Tudun now presents it, and as a team, you're functioning better and more productive. And why I started this also was around the reason why a lot of our youths are on the streets, and we're talking about unemployment, wrongful employment, and all that. I think the major problem we have is actually around lack of the right skills. I've been in a career for over 15 years, and I know that part of the challenge we've faced is around being able to recruit rightly. And so a lot of us are walking around just without, like a ship without a compass. And so the strengths knowledge gives you an understanding of what really you can function, how best you can function as a person and become better at what you do.
How popular is strengths coaching in Nigeria right now?
Unfortunately, it is not popular because currently we are only 2 certified Gallup Strengths coaches in Nigeria. I had to go to South Africa for the training. Even the second person had to go to South Africa for the training. They had only centers in South Africa, London, America, and the developed world. So right now in Africa, I'm not sure we're up to 5 certified coaches in Western Africa. In South Africa, there are so many of them. If you go to the Gallup side, they have a certified coaches register. If you go there, we're only 2 in Nigeria currently. And unfortunately, our people, and I use where we are as a people as an example. I was in London around October this year at the Gallup office for a meeting with other certified coaches from across the world. And part of what struck me was that where we are as a people, as a nation and a continent, is different from where the people in the developed world are. So their need for strengths coaching is totally different from ours. We are, according to the Maslow hierarchy of needs, still at the survival basic needs. You know, a society where people are looking for shelter, food, security. That's the survival base. And so the person's demands or requirements at that point is totally far away from, you know, self-fulfillment, because everybody is still grappling at that base. And so the reason why it's not so popular is affordability is also another thing. How do you engage a coach? You've not eaten, you're not interested in engaging a coach. So what I've done is look for NGOs, look for government, which has not worked out because the focus right now, everybody is thinking about elections, and so nobody's listening. But if you start from, let's say, state by state, and get the youths engage in everybody, because each person has something in him that he can offer the society.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what is the difference between what you do, strength coaching, and motivational speaking?
Oh, motivational speaking is such that you're propping people up to be the best they can be. But this is a practical structure where you just take an assessment, a 30-minute assessment, and it throws up who you are, what innate talents you already have that is influenced by your culture, your upbringing, your hereditary, your background, your environment. All this influence who you are, how you interpret or respond to stimuli. And so how you interpret a situation now is different from how judge will interpret it. Not because of your sex, not because of your age, but because of your experiences, your environment, and how you're wired. And so that, in a way, is also a strength that you can leverage to become a better person, rather than focusing on where. So I usually would say, why don't I think of what is good in Tudun as against what is wrong with her? Because in her are great exploits. So in our country today, we have youths, everybody with strengths, talents that we've not leveraged. If you look at the World Bank report, even the World Bank, the United Nations are telling us about our human capital potentials. This we've not leveraged. We've not in any way tapped into it. And that's why you have a lot of indolent people, youths, walking around. Our youth population is over 75% of our population. But what are we making of it? Productivity can only evolve the country into becoming sustainable, and then youth restiveness, crime can all reduce with everybody playing to their strengths.
So are you proposing that strengths coaching should go hand in hand with a formal education?
Yes.
At all levels?
Yes.
What about politicians? How can strength coaching help a politician seeking votes?
So a politician seeking votes will understand his area of talents. If he has talent in communication he knows how best to collaborate. His understanding of that can help him engage his community, for example. The youth in his community, he also understanding that I'm becoming a better politician by understanding my strengths, could also leverage that and use that to engage his own community. So it's not for any profession or any particular, like right now, I'm discussing with the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, for example, to take this in. And the reason is I've discovered that a lot of our nurses, not to talk down on them, are actually not very friendly with their patients. And this is because a lot of us are not happy with what we're doing. A lot of people go into what they are doing, not because they want it, but for survival, like I said. If you look at the pyramid, we're at the bottom of the pyramid, and all of us are striving to survive. Everybody is struggling to survive. And so a lot of issues we have in our society, corruption, everything we talk about, is actually being influenced by survival. That survival instinct. Even an animal that tries to survive will want to do anything to survive. And so if you ask a young man today who is looking for a job, what kind of job do you want? He'll tell you anything. Anything is nothing. I may not be a good presenter because Tudun is a good presenter, but I could be somebody who writes script just because that is what my own area of strength is. So nobody is totally useless. we can function better by allowing each person. A lot of us went into courses we never believed in, but because our parents thought, okay, medicine would be the source of wealth, that's survival. So you find a lot of people not fulfilled with what they're doing. But if that individual from maybe primary school already understood that, look, my flair is entertainment, you can go into it and you become a better person. Road rage, for example, money. A lot of us go to work unhappy. And that's why you see people struggling on the road with the way they drive. But if that person is going to a job that he is really happy about and knows that he has what to make it better or what to make him function well, playing to his strength, we all will have a peaceful and, how do I call it, calm society where people are functioning and productive. The productivity in this nation is at the lowest ebb. So our population of over 200 million, or let's say 180 million that we all tout, not productive, is losing a whole lot. And so for us to be productive, right now, part of the issue, we're talking about unemployment. The issue, if you ask real multinationals, the issue they have is about unemployability of the young graduates of our nation, because everybody just goes to school to read and come out. And there's a practical example I use a lot of times, the Igbo boys, the Igbo apprenticeship. You see Uche and Obina. Uche decides to go to Alaba to go and learn trade, and Obina decides to go to college after their secondary, after their high school. You realize that Uche, after, let's say, 10 years, maybe at 11 he started, both of them finished secondary school maybe at 16, and 26, 10 years after, Uche is settled with maybe 5 million naira by his boss in Alaba. The other guy went to the university and spent maybe 4 years, service 5 years, and came out. Unfortunately, Uche, a lot of times, starts getting trade lines into China or whatever, and then get a link from the bank, a loan and all that. You realize that if you're not careful, 70% of the time, Obina becomes the security guard at the bank where Uche is going to, because Uche learned a skill. Obina did not learn any practical skill he can function with.
That is a vivid picture. And on that note, we'll wrap up the interview. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing what strength coaching is all about.
Thanks, Tudun.
Thank you.
And thanks for having me.